Hi, and welcome to the Reconnecting to Creation Masterclass. This is a class I have been putting together for about a year and been embodying way longer than that. My whole reasoning for wanting to put this together is that I work with the most incredible people who are delivering such impactful work, having such a positive impact on people's lives. And yet they have this resistance to marketing and sharing about it because most of what they see out there in regards to marketing doesn't light them up, doesn't feel good, doesn't feel aligned for what they are offering. This space is designed to form a reconnection so that not only do you love sharing about what you do, but people are naturally attracted to it by you doing so. So let's just get straight in. For those of you who don't know, I'm Emma, and I have been in the marketing space for a decade now, which feels crazy to say, but not just marketing in terms of marketing methods and tactics and what's going on with the algorithm and all of that stuff again that we see out there, but very much the psychology behind creating content that connects to people. Really understanding behavior, desire for change, what people are looking for in the collective so that we can speak on our services in a way that resonates and lands. So just for a little bit of context, I've written for publications all over the world. I've had clients all over the world. I've worked on some really big campaigns. I'm not going to name drop. This isn't the point. The point is that I have this background, this expertise, and I am really bored of marketing. That feels really uncomfortable to say, and it's something that I avoided saying for a really long time because this is my expertise. This is what I do for a living. I can't say I'm bored of it. But the truth is I'm not bored of marketing. I love creation. Creation is literally written into every inch of my birth chart. I love marketing. I'm so passionate about people sharing what they do. I love supporting women in business. I want more women championing this incredible work, creating, putting themselves out there. It's just that what I'm seeing in the space isn't lighting me up. So, as always, when I have these moments of like, what am I doing? Who am I? What the hell is happening? I turn to my astrology. And I stumbled across these words, which gave me the biggest light bulb moment. And that is that I am a champion of creative and artistic freedom, here to bring something old into new contexts. Instantly, this made me realize, of course, I'm not supposed to enjoy what I'm seeing out there. I'm not supposed to resonate with the marketing that I'm seeing, and I'm not supposed to want to do it the same as others. And if you are here, my guess is that's true for you too. You aren't supposed to be creating in these ways that people are telling you that you should or that you need to for success, or this is the way to sell, even when it feels off in your entire being, doesn't feel true to your offering, and just doesn't feel like something you enjoy. These cookie cutter templates, they just don't inspire me, and they're not supposed to inspire you too. So please, if they don't, know that you're in the right place. What I mean by this is that I am lucky, as I said, to witness so much incredible work that just honestly makes my heart sing. Like, incredible. And yet quite often when I see the ways these spaces are marketed, there's this huge disconnect where the energy, the embodiment, the power, the transformation of these spaces aren't captured. And it's because people are using these generic templates of marketing that aren't an energetic match. They do not actually mirror them as an individual and their offering. And this is really what I want to dive into in this class, because I don't want this to be happening. I want the same energy that you feel delivering your space and that people receive in your space to be articulated in the way that you create. So let's dive straight in to reconnecting. Now, why is this happening? Why are we feeling this disconnect from marketing? Why do we not resonate with what is being said? For me, the biggest thing that I've witnessed is that a lot of what we see is rooted in convincing. What I mean by this is trying to convince people that what you are sharing on, what you have to offer, is for them. And this instantly feels icky because when you think of the word convincing, you think of force. You think of something unnatural, maybe a little bit unethical. It doesn't feel in alignment, especially if you are somebody who is deep in this feminine flow space. You create these safe spaces in your offering, and you really want the way that you speak about those to be a mirror of that. Convincing people in is never going to feel good for you. So let's have a little look at what convincing is versus what connecting is, which is really the place that we're getting to in this class. We're getting back to this place of connecting through our creations. So to start with, convincing places you in this lack force energy. It's this energy of, I need to get people into my space. I need to sign clients. I need to convince you that this is for you. Instantly in lack doesn't feel good, as I said, for us or the people receiving it. You can probably hear by how I just described that, it very much leads with ego. It's not rooted in this energy of receiving or this energy of connection. It's rooted in that I need to make this happen. The reasons for that will be subject to individual, but it's very much led through that ego space. As I said, it fails to match the safety of an offering. If you create a safe space, your marketing needs to feel safe too. Convincing somebody is never going to feel safe. This instantly then means that it feels off. And when something feels off for us, it is usually received in that way and then is ineffective. And by ineffective, I just want to make this clear distinction here that you may still sign clients doing this. A lot of the top people in the marketing game are signing heaps of clients, and their clients then sign heaps of clients too, because I am not saying this doesn't work. Evidently, it does. What I'm saying is that it will be ineffective if you are somebody who wants to have genuine impact and feel good about your work, then it will not work for you. And to this point, it won't attract aligned clients in. You may get people through the door, but it's not going to be those people that you love working with, that make you feel so passionate about your work, so sure that this is what you're supposed to be doing. So what does connecting look like against that? So as you can imagine, connecting is very much the opposite. It places you in an attraction energy. It's this feminine space of receiving, magnetizing, just drawing in. This leads with soul alignment. It leads from this like calm, grounded, rooted, safe for the nervous system space. This way of like, okay, this just feels in flow. And because of that, it mirrors the same safety of your offering. The same safety that you create for people, that people who come in your spaces just kind of, they just exhale and they just feel held and they feel seen and though they can be themselves. This is the safety that is created within marketing when we're seeing it through the lens of connection. As I said, it feels in flow, and when this happens, it actually heightens creativity. Me kind of going through this process that I'm going to take you through, I have never felt more creative to the point that I'm struggling to stop. I could literally create at all hours of the day. And it is because I'm very much in flow with this connecting, receiving energy. Creation is just coming in abundance. And that's really what I like to help people tap into. Not just this, I've got to market this offering, I've got to create for my business, but I cannot wait to share this. Because something I really heavily believe in is that the energy that goes into the creation is very much the energy it's received in. And we're going to dive into that a whole lot more. But in doing this, you attract aligned clients naturally. You attract the clients that are just vibrating on the same level as you. They just naturally are drawn to your energy and they just appreciate your way of doing things, your uniqueness, the stamp that you put on. And this is the way that's going to make us feel really good. We're going to feel empowered. People coming into our spaces are going to feel empowered. So that's kind of an overview of the difference. Now let's unpack that a little bit more. So convincing is very much, as I said, drawing people. I kind of see it more as like dragging. Like a super resistant toddler who doesn't want to leave the park and you're like dragging them out. It's kind of what this energy of convincing feels like. So instead of meeting people where they are with an invitation, that key point here, they are ready to receive, it really focuses on this force. As I've said, not only does this not feel good for the people receiving it, it isn't an enjoyable way to share about what you do. It's so easy to then fall out of love with creation and then not connect. And what I mean by that is not have the impact that you are capable of having. This is what frustrates me. I'm very much a generator, and my sign of like being out of alignment is frustration, is seeing that people don't want to share about what they do because so much of what they're receiving is that they have to do it through this convincing lens. This just isn't true. The clients I work with usually end up being so lit up, so excited to create, just loving the process of sharing about their work. And that's very much what my intention is. That's where I'm like, yes, that is what I want from these spaces. So when we're speaking about convincing, what we're essentially speaking on is people who are trying to just make as many sales as possible. And this is something that we see happen a lot. There's just this huge growth narrative at the moment, which is great. I'm all for people making money. I'm all for people having impact with their offerings. But when it is connecting with people that the work is actually going to serve and actually going to have genuine impact for. So when we do just focus on the convincing, what tends to happen is we skip the step of ensuring that our service can help somebody, can be of impact to them, and B, forming the connection first, because this is so, so important. If you are somebody who is a purpose-led business owner, who you want to really make sure that you're having genuine impact, you're changing people's lives, you're creating safety, you're creating change, you're rewriting the narratives, whatever your why is, your reason to get out of bed, your mission here, we want to make sure that we're fulfilling that. And the way that we can do that is to ensure that we are inviting in aligned clients, not just anybody who will come in. The caveat to this is something that I find very hard to sit with, I'll be honest, but it is that our work is not going to be for everyone. When we are in this convincing space, that is very much us wanting everyone in. I used to be really guilty of this because I have huge people pleaser tendencies and I just want to be liked by everyone, right? I think a lot of us experience this. I know I've spoken to a lot of women that feel this way. So what I would start doing is caveating everything I said to make sure that it was appealing to everyone, to the point that I had no point anymore. And I would also just try to be for everyone. I would try to make my services for the collective, the entire collective. And this starts to go a little bit into niching here, which is where we start to see some resistance to this niche come up. But essentially, what I'm saying is when you are in this energy of connecting, you are rooted into your true embodiment, your expression, your style, your way of doing things. And when you are honoring that and prioritizing connecting with people through that lens, your work is not going to be for everyone. And this is important because although it can be uncomfortable, this is actually the key to making sure that you are having aligned impact, acknowledging this point that, okay, the people that resonate with me, the people that my work lands for, when I'm in my truest expression, are my clients. By the way, that's your niche. We're going to go into that a lot more, but to simplify it, it's the people that you feel good working with, that naturally gravitate towards you, that you can just naturally serve with what you do. And to be in this energy of convincing, we need to have an understanding of this. Otherwise, we try and speak for everyone and try to convince everyone that what we do is for them. We don't ever want to convince. It doesn't feel good. So instead, when prioritizing connection, as I said, we need to be okay with the fact that our natural flow, our natural way of doing things, our uniqueness is not going to resonate with everyone. We need to allow our expression to land with who it is going to land with. This is the most powerful place to market from. It's the place that's going to feel good for you to receive. And it's also going to be the place that feels good for others to receive. You are going to have far more of an impact speaking firmly in your truth than watering yourself down and trying to be for everyone. So when we're thinking about connecting, one thing that it's really important to establish is kind of drawing inward and not paying attention to this message that we see everywhere on socials that is either just share whatever you want to share, and everyone who is meant for you will find you. But also not use this formula, share through this lens. This is how you sign clients. The sweet spot of marketing is somewhere in the middle of this. We don't want to enter into this convincing energy where we're like, this is for you. You need to do this. Your life's going to suck without it. And we also don't want to be in the space of la, 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 I'm just floating around over here doing what I do with no real invitation or connection to others. So when we're moving from this place of convincing to connecting, it's really a hybrid of these worlds. It's really the blend of the masculine, feminine energies. I'm a true Libra through and through, so you're going to hear me talk about balance a lot. I very much feel that it's part of my purpose, is to bring the harmony in this space, bring the sweet spot. So convincing is just like bulldozing, is how I kind of think of it. You know, when you get a cold DM and someone is just selling to you. I actually had an example of this the other day that I icked so hard. I had goosebumps. I was repulsed, like actually repulsed. And I commented on one of my mentor's posts, and it was something about insecure or avoidant attachment. I can't even remember what it was, but it was something about that. And I commented on it, just, you know, resonating with the words shared. And within 5 minutes, somebody had slid in my DMs who was an attachment coach, I believe. And it was something along the lines of, hey, Emma, just seen your comment. Would you like to join this program on being anxiously attached? It looks like it would be a perfect fit for you. Whoa. Firstly, ew. Secondly, this person knows nothing about me. Literally nothing about me. I know nothing about them. I've never seen their page before. We're not following each other. There is no connection here at all. It is straight into convincing. My clients always ask me whether they should cold DM. I'm very firm on no. Obviously, do you? This isn't shaming anybody for their marketing. But my reasoning why is because of this. The only energy you're really in when you're doing that is trying to convince people that what you do is for them. Hey, I saw your post on this, so you must need that. No, you can't know that from me just leaving a little comment to my mentor. So we need to make sure that we're going through a process, right? We can't just drop the selling. Another way of thinking about this actually is what I see a lot is people will just randomly, out of nowhere, just put up an offering with all of the logistics of it, all of this is for you if, this is what it's going to do for you. Here you go. Here's my offering. And again, this isn't necessarily convincing in the same way as a cold DM, but it's very much in that convincing energy of it hasn't prioritized connection. It hasn't given people the opportunity to see if this resonates, if this is an energetic match, if they can feel into the essence of the space and know that it's for them. And this is the difference. So connecting takes us through this exact process, right? It is this place of connecting with people, forming these relationships, taking people on a journey, letting people know for themselves if something is a fit, rather than you saying, I think this is for you. You are meant to be in this space, because that makes people not step in their own authority. And we want people walking into our spaces grounded, sure, full body, yes. So to be in the space of connecting, what we first need to do is actually establish who we serve and how we can meet them where they are. No force, no convincing. By that, I don't mean signing into DMs. What I mean is that marketing largely mirrors space holding. So if you are any kind of space holder, if you're a coach, if you're a mentor, if you're a yoga teacher, if you're an energetic healer, if you are a friend, if you are a mother, if you are a partner, you are a space holder to some extent. Part of holding space requires you to feel into people's energy, to really understand, engage where they're at, what they're ready to receive, and then deliver from there. I am the type of yoga teacher who plans a class. I'm a planner. I'm a Virgo rising. I love a plan. So I will plan a yoga class down to the T, and the amount of times that I used to go into my little fairy lit yurt that I used to teach at and just say, hey, how are you all feeling today? And just feel into the energy of the space. And then, I shit you not, rewrite the entire yoga class on the spot because the energy just doesn't match what I've planned. And that's part of my role. It's feeling into the collective, knowing what energy is in this space, and then making sure I create safety for that. In the same way as me having a friend who is with a partner, and I've got a lot I want to say, right? I'm like fizzing because the way that they're being treated is not something that I'm like, I'm not just going to dive in and bulldoze and say, break up with him now. He's so bad for you. Dump him. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to feel into where they're at, what they're ready to receive, whether it's my role to say anything at all, whether I just need to hold them, whether they want a little bit of harsh truth. Like, that is my role as a friend, to feel into the energy and decide where I can be best of service there. If you are a space holder, you probably do this. You probably got examples of the ways that you do this in your own life. This is the same within marketing. And so it's really about being tapped into who we serve, who is ready to receive that, right? It sounds like a little bit complex when we say it, but essentially it's about where our work meets people, what they need to be ready, what they need to be open to, what they actually are calling in, what energy they want to be in, right? Having this kind of understanding of, okay, this is where I meet people. This is the style I create in. This is how I serve. Really being rooted in that knowing so that we have our strong foundation. We're grounded in ourselves, our truth, our integrity, our values. When we begin from this place, we are creating these solid grounds for connection. Because when people align with that, the bond is so much stronger. So that is where connection is formed. Then we want to think of creating from that place. And this is so important because, like I said, the energy you create in is the energy your work is received in. If you aren't lit up, if you aren't in flow, if you aren't really passionate about what you're saying and clear in that, people aren't going to resonate. And when we think about actually creating and expressing, we are thinking about resonance. We're thinking about the ways that we create reflections for others. We're thinking about the ways that we express ourselves, how we create invitation for this energy to be a match. So when we are creating things that feel like a true reflection of our voice, when they feel like our passion's coming through, our mission, our uniqueness, what we value is woven into our creations, not only does it feel really good to create, and by the way, side note, you feel creative all of the time is something that I'm massively experiencing at the moment. My creative energy is just overflowing because I'm so rooted in that place. I'm then creating what I refer to as natural narratives. And these are ways that what I do weaves in to my life, to my clients' lives, to potential clients' lives. It's creating these touch points of reflecting my work. And we're going to go on to this in a minute. But essentially what's happening is I'm stepping out of the shoulds. There are endless marketing shoulds out there. There's so many templates, formulas, cookie cutter ways of doing things that a lot of people want, right? There's the big demand for it. I've definitely played into that demand in the past because we just want to know, do this and it's going to work. But for those of you who have tried that, you'll know that it's not quite a match for you. It's not quite a true reflection of you. So then it ends up, like I was saying before, working, but not being effective. When we are truly lit up in creating in a way that feels natural, speaking in our work in a way that's not like speaking at people, but sharing from a place of truth, embodiment, witnessing, expression, we allow our uniqueness to be felt and we enter into this place of magnetism from that. Connecting is very much about attraction. It's not about going to and forcing and chasing. It's very much about, okay, I'm here flowing. I'm doing my thing. I'm sharing my truth. I am showing you the power of what I do. I'm not telling you, I'm not listing it in these generic ways. I am showing you, letting you feel it first. And this is where we create resonance. To my earlier point, we do also need those masculine structures of, if you are just over here sharing in flow, never actually really communicating what it is you do or how people even join it, then you're not going to be having the kind of impact that you are supposed to be having. And I've said this a lot. There's a lot of creators I love, and when they share, I just melt into their words. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. Like, I just love witnessing you and experiencing you. They're offering great work. And so I'm like, ooh, okay, I want to be in your space more. So those first kind of 2 steps that we were speaking about, people are very tapped in to what it is they're doing, who it is they serve and how they serve. They're speaking in these beautiful narratives, these natural ways of storytelling, and weaving their work into that. But when it comes to the actual conveying of what it is they do and the offering, sometimes it just falls a little short in that it isn't clear. The essence of what they actually do in an offering practical sense isn't felt. And so seeing how it's going to serve me, because we're humans, parting with money, I want a service for it. I want to see what it's going to do for me. If that isn't evident to me, then I'm not necessarily going to invest. I'm just going to stay in this place of loving what you do and loving kind of being in the energy of you, but I'm not going to actually come into your space. We need to allow people to see how what we do will serve them. It's just an essential part of marketing. It's unavoidable. And like I was saying, this kind of like extreme way of feminine ways of doing marketing sometimes bypass this. But it's really important, because without this, people haven't got that inner authority to be able to go, okay, is this for me? Is this going to serve me? Is this actually right for me? Is this what I need? Because if we just enter based on, oh, that person's living the lifestyle that I want to live, or, oh, they've created in a way that resonates with me, or, oh, I kind of want to be a bit more like them, which happens a lot in marketing. We haven't actually taken that time to go, okay, well, is this offering for me? Is this investment in service to me? Or am I just kind of wrapped up in the vortex of this person without grounded in the service? And so we need to really make sure that the offering essence is felt, the essence of what we do, how it serves, what impact it has. And this is essential to not be in the convincing. This is where people start to get that little resistance, because it feels like it's stepping into convincing energy when we start heavily speaking about what we do. But it's not, because the convincing part comes in when there's force there. Sharing about what we do after we have rooted into our uniqueness, our style, our natural narratives, simply becomes a natural part of the journey. You saw that in the graph that I shared earlier. It's taking people on a journey so that they have an opportunity to reflect within and know whether something is for them. So important with having ethical marketing. And then when we've done that, people still want to be invited. People love an invitation. We don't just want to assume that people are going to come into the space just because they resonate with us or they think that our offering is great. If there isn't a clear pathway into this empowering invitation to work with us, to join in, to become a part of something, then it's probably not going to happen. Creating clear, empowering invitations also really helps people to trust you. It helps them to know that they are going to be held in this space. If I find that I want to work with someone, but when I go to sign up with them, the whole process is just really tricky, or they're super inconsistent in responding to me, like it's just not evident how I actually come into this space, I'm instantly creating these reflections of like, wait, is this what it's going to be like to be in this space? Is this going to be a really inconsistent space to be in? Am I not going to be fully held in this container? Is it not going to be clear during the space? And this can be for anything, any kind of offering, people are creating these associations through this whole customer journey of what being in your space is going to be like. So when we create these empowering, clear invitations of how to actually step in and be held and to join in and to take part and to change or whatever it is that you do, we're really conveying the power of what we do. And so creating these empowering invitations is about knowing that the people who have got to this point where they're ready to receive this invitation have already been on this whole journey that we have discussed and are ready. They're ready to receive. It's not the sliding into the DM straight at the beginning with no context, no conversation, no relationship building. We've done that work in this process. This is simply about creating the invitation for people ready to receive, inviting them in with confidence, with excitement. Of course, yeah. Come into my space. And so this journey, this exact step-by-step process we've just spoken about, so really grounding in to who we are, who we serve, how we're unique, the power of what we do, learning how to create natural narratives on that, not these cookie cutter templates, but creations that light up our soul. Like we just can't wait to get them out there in the world. Convey the offering essence, so what it is we do in a way that is felt, not just told, in a way that is experienced. The sensation of our offerings, people are already in that energetic space before they enter because our marketing has really conveyed that. Then empowering people with the invitation. It just feels so natural. It feels so in flow. It's a process that I have been doing for years and years and years. And like I say, when I honor this process, when I cut out all the noise, all the shoulds, and I honor it, I love what I do. I love sharing about what I do. I invite in clients that I am like, wow, you are my reason. You are the reason that I love this work so, so much. And that is what I want everybody to have. I want people who are impact driven to feel this way about their work. And so this is exactly what the Content That Connects course is built upon. It is literally just these 4 modules. I go deep into the psychological principles, the ways of connection, creativity, forming relationships, resonance, really learning how to capture the essence of you and loving the process of doing so that you can sign clients that are fuck yes clients. So like, hell yeah, I want to be in your space. Not just anybody, those kinds of people. And so if you want to join, all of the information is here. If you're already in this space and enjoying this as the first lesson, welcome. I'm so excited to dive into the rest with you.